Yo, 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 welcome back to Dads Can't Jump here with the main man, Chad.
Hey, hey,
Chad, welcome back. Technologically, are you feeling pretty fit tonight?
I
You
do
feel,
feel better. I do. I have a different computer, my
okay,
original computer. I forgot it last week. So I was running on
Windows
some
98.
pretty much, it might be ME, but it was pretty close to that. So yeah, we're back.
And we're back.
No
Okay,
cutouts. No cutouts tonight, hopefully.
no cutouts tonight.
Unless my gig internet dies on me as well.
Got, got it. Anything big happen over 4th of July, or 4th of July? Anything big
Hmm.
happen over Labor Day weekend?
Uh, no, I've been doing a lot of gaming lately, so which you can catch on the live stream.
Absolutely.
Um, I've been gaming, and that's about it.
Okay,
I went for a swim. I did go swimming the other day, so that was nice.
excellent.
First time in the pool in quite a while.
Still running?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Ran a little bit, worked out a little bit. Yeah, been putting in
good.
the time.
Oh, really?
Trying.
Is that why we're getting the white T-shirt action here?
No, that was really. I mean, laundry day.
Oh, okay, got it.
Nothing's clean.
The
No,
maid the
because
maid quit.
I had because most of my clothes are basically bargain bin athletic clothes,
Okay,
and sometimes they get a little dirty or stained over time because I've had them for quite a while, and I couldn't quite find just the right one for tonight. So
well,
went
hey,
with the
we're
good
here.
old undershirt, which brings me to something. And I know this wasn't on the docket, but it's one thing that this
Clear the docket.
clear it. And I think it's strange because I talk to people, and apparently wearing an undershirt is unusual, is what I'm told. Like people don't wear
Oh,
undershirts, and that's
are
really weird to me.
we have a bygone generation where the
I
undershirt was the
guess
thing?
because like I remember my grandfather wearing
Yes.
the undershirt like every time, like without fail,
Yep.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
Um, it was more
Same.
like
Exactly the same.
yeah, and it
And
was like the wife beater before they called them wife beaters.
I wonder if it's a regional thing because
Yeah,
my whole family's from the Midwest, and I am telling you that in the Midwest, you wear an undershirt. Um, my
yeah.
dad has sort of gotten into this, silk golf shirt thing, and so I think that maybe he doesn't
Oh,
rock it with those. But otherwise, you wear an undershirt. It's just you're an
yeah,
American.
and you
That's what
know
you
what?
do.
And like in today, the Gen Zers, or I guess maybe millennials is I don't know what comes after the millennials, but going without an undershirt with a sweatshirt that just baffles my mind. Like that's just crazy. Like I could never under any circumstance wear a hoodie without an undershirt. Not even just an undershirt, just a shirt under it. Not necessarily a proper undershirt, just like a shirt. It's crazy.
Right.
Or a polo shirt or polo. That's also crazy. Dress shirts. I don't know. Maybe it's got to be an age thing. We need to collect some data on that.
And that
If you're over 30 and you listen to this, put it in the comments. Do you wear an undershirt?
yes, we would love to see your comments, and that concludes our old man portion segment of the show today.
Is it? I thought we had a whole section on that.
Well, maybe coming up in a minute. But first, we were cut off through technical difficulties on a story that you were going to tell related to, I'm just going to describe it as a wild party, but why don't you fill in the blanks?
This is definitely not an old person thing because if it was, you'd also need a hospital next to it because the heart attacks would be. Imagine what I envision when I see this is old school. If you've seen that one,
Yeah.
with Blue when Blue passes away, and we're not going to necessarily describe how or why he passes away, but if you know what I'm talking about, you understand where this is going.
You
So
had to see
last
it.
week, before the computer Windows 98 crashed, we were talking about Burning Man, which Burning Man is just another thing that I can't wrap my mind around because that's like just a cultural shift from anything that I've ever thought even possible. Like people going and being dirty and like painting themselves and just like rolling around in dirt and dust and
Um,
sewage, whatever it might be.
I'm sorry.
But
Let's just, but
okay, go
okay,
ahead.
I have to interrupt you here. Like, yes, beyond that, I have reached the age where I will go do something for no more than 3 hours.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
will go watch a football game for 3 hours. I will go to a party or an event for 3 hours. I don't want to be anywhere for more than 3 hours because then I gotta go. Like, even if that's just to go home, like we're
Right,
good
and
here.
reset. Right, clean
Yeah,
yourself. get a new
Absolutely.
undershirt, put on a
So
new
the idea that
undershirt.
we're going out there for 3 days, you've already lost me.
And yeah. So what I was talking about last week before, again, we got cut off, is have you heard of the Orgy tent?
Uh, did it happen in the first
Backtrack,
3 hours?
backtrack. Orgy dome.
No,
Tent
did
doesn't
it
even
happen in the
describe
first?
it.
Did it happen in the first 3 hours?
I think it happens in every stage of the event. And I don't know if
Okay.
people stay in there for 3 hours at a time.
No.
But I have it pulled up because I want to get the numbers right because this is so amazing to me. Is that they said that this is a 4,000 square foot structure. That doesn't have like that's 4,000 square feet. Like I don't even know. Like that is a lot.
That is multiple single family homes. Like the average single family home, it's like 2 of them.
Right. Yeah. And it says that every year between 8,000 and 10,000 people go to Burning Man, and an estimated 10% of them end up in the Orgy Dome. So for you math majors out there, that's like 1,000 people going through this Orgy Dome. And you can imagine what kind of people, I mean, obviously what kind of people are in an Orgy Dome anyway, but then you combine it with Burning Man, and God, you definitely come back from the desert with something at that point.
I have no point of reference, but I have to assume it's the same thing as a nude beach. It's everybody that you don't want to be there is who is inside there.
I don't know. Sometimes when you see people from Burning Man, I mean, they have to have some type of stamina because they got to stay out in the desert for 5 days at a time.
And so you're saying it's a younger crowd? All right.
It's like the ravers with their glow sticks and what are they?
Right.
Not speed. What are they hopped up on?
Colombian marching dust.
Okay. Ecstasy. There we go. That's what I was.
Yeah.
A little X for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it got blown over by the windstorm.
Okay. There's nothing that ruins an event like that.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Like the lid being blown off.
This is in more ways than one. Hopefully, never mind. But anyway, it's like that's got to be one of the craziest. One, you're in the Orgy Dome, which has got to be a surreal experience to begin with, and then you're whatever you're doing in there, because I don't know what happens in those things.
I assume,
and then you get a heavy wind and
right.
There we are.
Some of them were thankful for the heavy wind, maybe. I don't know.
There we are. Live and in person. Holy smokes.
Oh my gosh. Well, that seems like a lot of action.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's going on in California, out in the desert. Back here
in California.
Back here in the fatherland. I think that you were telling me that you were actually seeking boredom.
So, another part of the process, everybody's on a journey.
Of course.
And I feel like my journey started during COVID.
Oh.
Because I had nothing else to do.
Right.
I was sitting at home and I was thinking, like, what are my shortcomings? And one of them was flexibility.
You don't have to give us the whole list. Okay, flexibility.
That was the only one I worked on.
Humble. Okay, got it.
So I started doing yoga all the time. And so when you start doing yoga and you listen to people doing yoga, they're obviously a little off. Or
they're all drinking kombucha.
A little far east for you. So then I was like, I'll dabble. I'll buy into this. So, I had the beads. I had the crystal bracelet. I had some books I was reading.
So your aura used to be better.
Yeah, my chakras were aligned better.
Got it.
And then, so I would do some reading, and then I would look at some different like religious viewpoints and things like that. So it was this whole like self-help guru kind of thing.
Okay.
And then that got too weird, so then I went back to the normal stuff. So
then I stopped to talk about it. Right.
And so, because of this, my algorithm on YouTube is still a little wonky, as you can imagine.
Certainly.
But a video came up the other day about like embracing boredom, which, yoga is about that. Like you're embracing the stillness and embracing the thoughts and
mindfulness.
caring for the passenger inside. But basically,
Totally.
what it was saying is that you want to embrace the boredom because you don't have any opportunities to challenge kind of your way of thinking or to process any deep thoughts or really elicit any real change in your life because boredom is when your mind obviously goes to those different regions of thought. Because clearly today, what happens, and in the video the guy mentioned, if you're at a red light, people pull their phone out. Like people won't even let themselves be bored for 2 minutes at a red light, so you don't get that. Because remember, they used to call it shower thoughts at one point. Like you're in the
Oh,
shower, there's nothing else to do. Now I guess
yes.
people you can wear all
Take their
earbuds or
phone into the
whatever.
shower.
Yeah, so it
They're
used
all
to be that.
waterproof now. Yeah.
Right. So it'd be like, oh, shower thoughts of some deep existential crisis that you've confronting or whatnot. So I'm trying to embrace the boredom. Is the point of the spiel, which I may
Have
have
you
made some
ever
people bored.
meditated properly?
Not in the sense of where I've gotten to a meditative state. Like I've sat still and done
Okay.
the
Have you
breathing
done a
and all
guided
that.
meditation?
I've tried it, but where you just my mind, it's just I'm not there.
But a
Like I
guided
really,
meditation where they're talking to you, where they're
yeah.
saying, "Okay, now you're going to focus on this." I have done it wasn't specifically during COVID, but I have done a guided meditation series on the Calm app. And you
Mm.
do it for 21 days, the amount of time that they say it takes to build a habit. And so after 21 days, I was out of video, so I stopped. But during that 21
Can't go back to
days,
one.
I've mastered one. But during those 21 days, it absolutely is. I was shocked and amazed, especially if you're going through something or you're trying to process or digest something. To your point, you don't actually sit there and focus on it or think about it. You just focus on being present in that moment. And by doing that, that centers your entire way of thinking in a way that I can't articulate. And I think that no one can really appreciate it unless you experience it. But I fully endorse meditation.
Yeah,
I
even
think that
just
it's a game changer.
like just being able to control your breathing is a huge piece of that because your breath is what centers you. Because if you don't get that deep breath, because then the bottom of your lungs don't get accessible, and then that's what really gets into your somatic, or is it the somatic
System.
parasympathetic nervous system? There you go. That's what
Ooh,
brings you down. And
psych for
I
the
used to
win.
teach that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you get that calming sensation going through. And if you don't get that deep breathing or that controlled breath, because obviously when people get upset, their breathing speeds up, and that's how
Right.
people start hyperventilating because they're just, and that's not going to help you calm down or anything. Probably that happens in the orgy tent, if I had to guess.
If people would just slow down their breathing, the tent would stay on. But with all that hot breath rolling around, it popped right off. Yeah. No, I mean, it obviously makes a big difference. I mean, everybody talks about mental health, and sometimes I feel like they talk about it in fluffier ways and sometimes in more concrete ways. And so, I mean, I think that finding what works for you is the big ticket item. I tried, so when I was working out a lot more in college, I did meditation back then. So obviously that was pre COVID. But I also got really into running and lifting.
Mhm.
And when I was lifting, I used to use creatine back in the day. But when I used it, it had somewhat of a sketchy reputation. It's like,
Yeah, when I was in high school, people were like, "Your heart's gonna explode."
yeah. They're like, no, you're gonna feel the effects right up until you die.
Right.
so,
Yeah, because I
so
remember in the
good or the
late
bad.
'90s when that was all coming, it was like something that was on 60 Minutes, and then every parent of any athlete was like, "You're not hitting creatine. You can't do that."
But I feel like it's taking on a new vibe now. I feel like now creatine has sort of either they just beat the bad rap or they have evolved the product to where it actually is safer to take today. Now, this is based on absolutely zero science. I have no idea. But I'm just saying that it seems to have a safer reputation now than it did back then.
Well, it's almost to the point of not just the reputation, where it's what people would describe as a necessity in your life now,
Mm.
because
Are they
it's.
taking it that far? I hadn't seen that.
I mean, obviously, it depends on what website you go to, but
Right.
even if you put it into ChatGPT or Gemini or whatnot, it does spout out all the perceived impacts or effects or positive impacts that it has. So it's not just necessarily muscle building, but I guess there's also cognitive benefits to it.
Right. At like the neurotransmitter level.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see. I mean, I day one it today.
Oh, okay. So you're on the
So
saddle. Okay.
I did. My wife has it, and I don't know if she takes it or not, but it's sitting on the counter. But I didn't take. I went and got some of my own just because that could be a touchy situation in the house. Not to the point where we label our things yet, but we might be getting closer. If Hannah's like that, then definitely there's going to be three names on or a name on everything. But anyway, um,
Wow,
but
you guys sound fun.
but the creatine is yeah, I'm anxious about it because I know a couple people that have been on it consistently and say it works, or at least they think it works, which is just as good. Like I'll pay $20 every 3 months to make myself feel better mentally
What
or
effect are
emotionally.
you targeting?
For me, like at this stage in the game, it's just the recovery aspect of it, the eliminating soreness. Because
Yeah.
obviously, I'm not trying to build mass or anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I could.
I mean, not to speak out of school here, but you're about to hit that old 4-5 mark.
Yeah.
And, for 4-5, like you're sitting here with a white t-shirt on, like it's, nobody's business. And so you're hanging tough.
Yeah,
I
the hair
mean,
helps. If the hair ever goes away, then that's game over.
you're going to have to pick a different approach.
What's funny is that in life either you bloom early or late, and so
Oh, yeah.
when you're a kid, you're like, man, I wish I could grow facial hair like all the like guys have facial hair and all this kind of stuff, or they're like get jacked in high school. But then you look at them now and you're like, shit, you look like you're 72 years old and you're 40 because
You,
that process went way faster for you than it did for me. So fast forward,
you look like Cliff at the bar
still
and
got my
Cheers.
hair.
He looks
Right.
75 and he's only 45.
Right. Oh yeah. So that's the crazy thing too. Like I look at these things, I see it on Reddit where like Paul Rudd's like 65 years old or something ridiculous.
No,
Like
he's not.
he's in his 60s, I think, or just
No
hit 60.
way. Really?
Yes, look it up. Look it up.
I'm going to check with our producer.
If we were still live streaming, someone could have told us in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. We will go back to live streaming soon for all of our people. Okay. I said, how old is Paul Rudd? ChatGPT tells me today is September 2nd.
Hey, there you go.
Paul Rudd is 56 years old.
Okay, that's close to 65.
But within the last 2 years has been the sexiest man in the world or something.
Right. And then if you think back to like the Golden Girls, remember the Golden Girls?
Yeah.
They were probably in their 60s. Like when you were a kid, like people in their 60s were like the retirement age, like at the retirement home. If they're in their 70s, they're definitely like
They weren't living as long.
old people.
Yeah.
Now, you're 70, you should still be functioning.
Yeah, absolutely. It drives me nuts when people use age as a limiting factor. I'm like, have you seen the last, like, give or take the last 10 presidents? Like,
Right.
they're all in their 70s or 80s, and obviously Barack was younger and Bill was younger. But I mean, like we're talking about older guys here who are running the entire world. Like that has to take a little bit out of you. And
Yeah.
so the
And
idea
that's
that
without
you're
creatine.
think about if they learned about this secret sauce.
Or an orgy tent. Although I bet Bill Clinton been in an orgy tent or two.
That's none of your business. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. So I think that, well, okay, I'm excited to see. We're going to track your progress. So this is T-shirt day one.
Well, because the other one that is big on the news, or not on the news, but on the infomercials is like that Nugenic stuff where it's like the testosterone pills.
Right.
Like that stuff makes me that makes me too nervous.
What could
And
go
I don't know
wrong?
why it makes me nervous, but like
What?
I feel like that can't be a good situation.
Are you afraid? you afraid of being too good?
Because you'd see, like, I don't know if you've seen. I saw Troy Aikman pop up online the other day because he's getting ready for the NFL season, and he is freaking jacked. Like he's shredded because he's clearly on he's juicing something.
He's probably just TB12 in it.
He might be because the picture I saw, he was doing like a full transfusion, not a transfusion, but he was doing a full like blood upgrade, not pumping himself full of whatever he's pumping himself through, but like he is ripped. And it can't be. It's obviously not natural because he's like, I mean, he's got to be in his mid-50s also.
We should
60,
have a
50,
show where we just list celebrities' ages.
guess their names. Right. Well, these
Um,
guys look ripped late in life, and there's no
he's
way.
58. He's like
Yeah.
Paul Rudd's age. Yeah.
Yeah, and he is shredded. So, I mean, he is definitely on something. Now, you wonder, like, what's the timeline of his death here? Because, like, wrestlers, they die young because of all the
Right.
crap they pump in. I mean, a lot of it's like painkillers and that kind of narcotics, but
Yeah.
still.
Well, you know what
Crazy.
would round out a nice body is just winning that Powerball.
Yeah, you could do a lot. You could do, remember The Swan, the TV show The Swan?
I don't think I
Do you
saw that
remember
one.
this?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, this is some crazy stuff.
Okay.
This
What
came
happened on
out.
Swan?
Oh my god! So the Swan, you know
Should
the
I sit
story.
down?
The story of the Swan, right? This before the Swan was the what in the story in the
What?
fable. The fable. The blank turns into the Swan.
I have no idea.
The ugly duckling.
Oh my God. Okay.
So this was a show where they had women who were the ugly ducklings. Like they were these
Oh.
women.
Yeah, you can't make that
That,
show today.
no, absolutely not. They had these women, and I can't remember how many of them there were, but they went through this huge transformation process where they
Uh-huh.
did everything, like all the surgery, the liposuction, like the rhinoplasty, like all of it. And then at the end, someone would win, like who became the swan.
Mm.
But what would happen is that the swan, the winner, would be now this hot girl who had no idea how to be a hot girl, like in society.
Day
And so
one.
she goes home to her trailer with like Billy Bob, and she's like, "This isn't for me anymore because I can go anywhere and get attention."
I was gonna say,
So
yeah.
yeah, I think so. They ended up like these, like the husbands were like, "This is amazing," until the wife was like, "Well, now I can do so much better than you, so I'm out."
Okay, so that transformation show is up there with the one that's on Netflix right now, which is sort of the real life Where Are They Now on The Biggest Loser. Have you
Oh
seen
yeah,
that?
no, I have it on the list. I do want to see it though.
Yeah, spoiler alert, they get fat again.
That tends to happen, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and some of them talk about the fact that they say that the show had long-term metabolic damage effects, but the doctors come on and they're like, you weighed 400 pounds, you might have already messed up your metabolism before the show.
Yeah,
So, maybe it was the show, maybe it wasn't. But I think the point is that, yes, we sat on you and supervised you for a couple months. And of course you lost weight. But then when we put you back in your environment, guess what
right.
happens? You're back in action. And
Yeah,
you're
which
back
is
to your old habits. That's like in Vietnam, the drug use rate of GIs that would go over to Vietnam and use heroin was like 70%.
yeah,
But that's not the number of GIs that when they got back to the States continued it. It was a small fraction, like 5% continued using the
right.
opium because it was strictly an environmental trigger. Like if I'm sitting in an opium den in Vietnam, I want opium. But if I'm anywhere
Right.
else, I'm fine.
Right. Well, because the goddamn Viet Cong's outside shooting at you.
There's a few stressors.
Building some tunnels.
Yeah, they're digging their way in as you're trying to get high.
What's that? Goddamn.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, because it's the comfort zone of whatever it is. I remember kind of along the same thread. I used to watch Kitchen Nightmares when it was on like 15 years ago, like on the BBC, the UK version of it.
Oh, okay.
And
So
he
was
would
that
be
Gordon
much,
Ramsay or somebody else?
yeah, it was still Gordon Ramsay, but it was much
Okay.
more raw because it was less produced, and he would be much more aggressive to them. But he would go in and fix these places, clearly effective, and then he would do the return thing, and he'd come back and they're like, "We brought back the old menu." They brought back the old plate. Like they went right back to the comfort because you can change again. Going back to the beginning of what we were talking about, like making change is hard because it's easy to just fall back into it. Even something as seemingly simple as meditating, like you literally do nothing,
Right.
but it's so hard
Force
to be
yourself
like,
to do that every morning.
I'm going
It's
to
hard.
I'm going to do 20 minutes of that. Like you, in today's society and the way you condition your brain, like for 20 minutes to just do nothing
Right.
is next to impossible, especially in the
Well,
morning because you're like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this.
yeah, and I mean, in economics, we talk about, doing nothing is a choice. I mean, we talk about that in all facets of life, but I mean, doing nothing is a choice, and therefore you are voting. So, like, by doing nothing new, you are every single day you're grinding those old habits in harder and harder and harder, so that if you try and do something new, it is so hard to get out of that.
Yeah,
It's
and to the point you made about the environment once you get back to it, because if you went on Biggest Loser or you're on the Swan and you come back and the people around you haven't changed to adapt to your new lifestyle, like
Billy Bob,
you have no chance, right? There's no chance
right?
for it, because if you go on the Biggest Loser and you come home and your wife or your husband is still eating Krispy Kreme, then what are you going to do?
See, but that's the nice thing about, the Powerball is 1.3 billion. You're going to clear 600 million in your checking account in a week. All of a sudden, you don't have to sit there with Billy Bob. You got new friends.
You got a lot of new friends.
So
coming out of the woodwork, cousins,
everybody.
that you probably don't remember, aunts and uncles.
That's right.
Yeah, the bad thing in Florida is that it's public. You can't hide.
Right. It's one of those states you don't actually want to win in.
Yeah.
Oprah had a stat years ago, and the reason I'm saying it's Oprah is just to give you a glimpse as to how far it is, but I think that the stat remains true, that anybody that comes into a windfall of money that is $50,000 or more. So if you are in a high-paying sales job and you get a $50,000, sales check, or you win a small lottery, or you win a big lottery. I mean, 50,000 all the way to the moon, all the way up to, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. Within 5 years, 75% of the people are back to or below economically where they were when they started out. And this is
the same principle applies to all these things, because it's like you still or poor people aren't rich for a reason. So like,
right.
You hand someone who doesn't know how to handle any of this, or their lifestyle can't handle that type of income, then boom, it's gone.
A fool and his money are soon parted.
And obviously that money, if you invest it, will come back to you in some capacity, but like, you can't just go on a spending spree. I mean, that's what people do, obviously, and then they get caught up in scams.
And so here's a perfect example of that. So right now they have introduced, and I obviously cherry picked this story just for you. They have introduced in Rhode Island the Taylor Swift tax.
She's everywhere.
She is in the tax law of Rhode Island. Rhode Island now says that if you own a residence that's over $1 million and you live there for less than 183 days a year, and when it comes to taxing authorities, the burden of proof, it falls on you. You have to prove to them that you laid your head down in that state 183 nights. Like, get out your calendar and tell us what days you were there, and we want to see receipts that showed that you were there. So they're serious about it. So if you spend less than 183 days there, and it's your second home, they are now charging you an additional $2.50 per $500 in value, which you think, oh, no big deal. Taylor Swift right now is paying $200,000 a year in property tax on this home that she bought in Rhode Island for originally, about $18 million, and now it's worth $28 million. The rich get richer. And so, but now with this new Taylor Swift tax, her taxes are going to go up by about $140,000. So her $200,000 tax bill has now become $340,000. That is just property tax, not maintenance, on one house that she owns. $340,000.
Yeah, but for her, she's making more than that in gains.
Yeah, she could do one instant and get that. But what I'm saying is, taking it back to the Powerball people, you go out and you buy, you don't win $1 billion, but let's say you win $100 million. So you're like, I can afford a $30 million house. You go buy that thing. Well, all of a sudden you start burning cash and burning cash and burning cash. Well, if your expenses go up by $130,000 a year and you're just burning cash, all of a sudden you might not be living in a $28 million house anymore.
Yeah, I remember, I'm going to fudge numbers here, but I think it was Nick Cage and Johnny Depp were both paying like $1 million a month just for maintenance on all their houses around the world. that they
Right.
they never even step foot in.
I was going to say, and they spend most of their nights in hotels.
Because Taylor Swift, that house in Rhode Island, like Rhode Island, isn't a forgiving climate.
It is gorgeous 60 days a year.
It's not like you can just cover the couch with some plastic and be like, we'll be back in the spring.
BRB.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
lawn crew. Like she's obviously got a lawn crew going in there. Like, oh yeah, it's got to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, I understand why she holds on to it because it's making $10 million in profit. But
Right.
I mean, obviously she's not thinking about it in any way, shape, or form. But
pays for itself.
yeah.
Well,
Man.
we will go buy some Powerball tickets and hopefully be able to give some real life examples of what we plan on doing with that money. Chad, I think that you've got some very specific ideas that I look forward to you sharing with everybody once you do win. Any other parting words? Any other parting words for tonight?
Check us on, make a note, make a reminder on Sundays. We're going to start dropping our NFL picks.
Whoop, whoop.
We're going to track
we didn't even get to football tonight.
We got plenty of time. We're going to give our NFL picks. We're going to keep a running tally of our Hard Rock accounts, which is going to be
Parlay Dreams.
I'm taking a big swing this weekend, but you won't find out what it is until Saturday or Sunday morning.
Parlay Dreams. All right, be good.